Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Law Roach.
Hi, I'm Ty Hunter. And we just finished our interview with Hollywood Unlocked. You got to make sure you check it out. This one. You got to watch it.
It was great. I'm definitely happy that I was able to do this for the culture.
Yeah.
For real.
Can't wait for you guys to see it.
What up, everybody? This is Jay Silly, and this is Hollywood Unlocked Uncensored.
That's your boy Giovanni. Hold up.
And Melissa Ford is still out. We're sending our prayers to her.
Love you.
But in the meantime, we have two fashion icons in the building. The people that make all the people you like look the best.
That's right.
My friend Ty Hunter and Law Roach.
What's up? Welcome.
Hey, guys. Thank you for having us.
This is a lot of fashion power in the room. And both of you are so, first of all, personally, you guys are amazing people. But professionally, your work is amazing or has been amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so Law is just sitting over there like, you just have a professional read a bitch face.
Don't
ready.
try.
He is so ready.
You don't know.
So
I'm from Chicago, baby, so we always ready.
okay, so there's no weapons, right? Because I mean, we've had a pistol pulled on us in this room, and we just don't like no type of drama. We want no smoke.
No, God is my weapon, so.
That was deep.
Okay, so I was surprised. So you guys know each other, but are you guys are connected, or you just know of each other's
We
working?
just know each other.
Yeah, we just know each other for just being out and
I always, I'm so proud of him. He's doing amazing things, and I'm always commending him and sending him, messages and stuff because he's doing so great, and I'm really proud of him.
Yeah, you were one of the first people early on to kind of like reach out and be like, oh, I love what you're doing. I'm proud of you. And that really meant a lot, so thank you.
That
See,
was
that's
so
what I'm talking about.
I need friends like that.
You do.
Yeah,
Okay.
I just believe in that. It's room for everyone, and it's not a competition thing, and that's the thing. I want people to know it's okay to say great work to your peers, and I think that's why I'm respected in the game because I never looked at anyone as competition. I'm looking at what I'm doing to better myself, and so I always commend other people when I see great work, especially people of color, because this business is really hard, and Law is doing amazing things, and he's setting an example for stylists and people of color to really push and go outside of the boundaries. And it's okay to work with other races, other brands, other genres of music and stuff. And I commend him for that, and it's awesome.
Well, I can't afford neither one of y'all. So.
We do payments.
I appreciate that.
We already know their daily rate on Groupon, so I ain't fucking with it. Speaking of Groupon, you've dressed or you work with Tiffany Haddish, and you're famously have worked with Beyonce. Have y'all ever text each other like, who bit the girl?
No, that ain't my business. I stay out of things that ain't got nothing to do with me. As long as nobody's biting on me, I'm good.
Law looking at me like I was right there.
I wasn't right there, but I know I wasn't right there, but
He knows something.
confidentiality agreements.
But when both of you are styling such phenomenal women or people, do you just work with women? Because I know do you work with men too?
I work with men as well. I work with a lot of people. I just don't tell a lot of people who I work with. A lot of times my clients, I let them say they style themselves. As long as my money is in my account, I'm good.
Unless we see you at the bottom of the stairs at the Met or something.
Oh yeah, I mean things like that, of course. But yeah, I work with a lot of clients, but I don't know. I'm working on my brand and building other things in my empire. So styling, of course, is my DNA, is who I am. But I've got other projects that I'm working on. So my energy has been going towards those things.
Or even like you on the cover of that magazine with, do you want to say the names? Because I mean,
why not? Hollywood Reporter.
Yes.
Yeah, I was the first black stylist to be featured on the cover of that magazine in the 11 or 12 year history of that issue. Yeah, so that was a huge accomplishment.
And you were on there with Celine Dion and
Zendaya,
which was a beautiful cover.
Thank you.
So why do you think in fashion? Because I'm starting to see. The only person I really knew who was iconic was Leon Talley. What's his name?
Andre Leon
Talley. Beyond him, and now seeing your face for years and seeing you doing your thing, and then moving into network television and on the cover of magazines and stuff like that. What is that world of fashion? Is it racist? Is it just not a lot of opportunity for us? Because
I wouldn't say racist. I just think. Well, shit, I will say racist. Yeah, there are times where, with me, in the beginning stages, it wasn't a lot of black stylists, and I am not a Devo, and I could go to a show with one of my good friends, and I get there and my seat is not in the front, then I will not sit in this and watch the show. I would literally say I'm about to leave, and I was like, I'm gonna text the designer, I hope the show go great, or you have a couple of minutes before the show starts to
Wait,
give me
you
a
would do
seat.
that?
I've done it a few times.
So if you're not in the front row,
Yeah,
because because the front row is
only
important.
because I have to. I was in the beginning. I'm a stylist, and I have a lot of people come up under me, men of color, women of color, and so we have to fight for what's right. And I've been in the game almost 2 decades, so it's like I'm not refused to. I've earned that seat. So a new blogger that just came out yesterday, or someone that has all these followers, did not earn that seat. So a lot of times, as a man of color, I have to fight for things just so to make it easier for the stylist to come
Even with
after me.
Beyonce as your client?
Even with Beyonce as my client.
And you with Celine or with Ariana or Zendaya, do you have the same struggle or have you had the same experience?
I think yeah. I had to fight and grow and get to a level where I don't have to worry about that. I built some amazing relationships with designers and PR people in this business, and what a lot of people don't know is that is how you that's how you maintain your career. It's all about relationships. Yeah. But the thing about this industry is no different from any other industry. You
have to fight. Yeah.
Opportunities.
You mean for opportunities for people of color?
Absolutely. Yeah. It's the same as any other industry across the board.
But even when you have big talent like
yes, people would try it.
The thing about it is like my career is my career, right? So now I'm at a place where I'm fighting so that it can be more people who look like me to get to the level that I am. That is my, like, as a stylist, I've done every single thing that I've ever dreamt about doing, right? I woke up one day and I said, damn, you've lived all your dreams, right? So when you get to that point, your career and your passion is no longer about you. If you have any decency as a person, period. So now my fight is, why isn't more people who look like me doing what I'm doing at the level that I'm doing it at?
Right.
So so that's all I want to talk about. Like that's my whole thing. I want to talk about, is it opportunity or is it talent? And we all know it's not talent. Right. So that has become my fight. It's hard when you go into a room with these people and magazines and all that, and nobody else looks like you. Right. And it's so my thing is like, it has to be more than one. Or it has to be more than two. And I'm blessed to really get to a point where I have a really illustrious career, and so now it's all about me giving back and kind of like pulling people under me to make sure that they have the same opportunities that I've been able to get. Thank you.
So I was in Australia with a friend, and Sam Smith came on, and I was singing my best karaoke version of Sam Smith, and my friend looked at me and he said, I don't like him. And I said, why? He's a phenomenal singer. And he said, because I sing R&B, but R&B isn't acceptable until white people are singing it. And I was like, I started thinking about it. I'm like, how many artists now are singing R&B music that was our music and that, was a part of our culture, or is a part of our culture? And I'm thinking like, okay, in fashion, you look at Pat now. I don't know her last name, but she has the makeup line.
Pat McGrath.
Pat McGrath. You both, I'm sure, know her.
Yes, the queen.
And everybody was talking about Kylie Jenner. And then all of a sudden, boom, Pat already hit the $1 billion valuation. Has this amazing brand. And her brand is amazing. But there wasn't all the real fanfare outside of, I saw our people posting, and Naomi Campbell, Marc Jacobs' fiance, friend of mine and stuff. Why do you think the media doesn't highlight the work that you all are doing and the work that we're all doing in comparison to maybe some other races?
Well, I can't say that they don't highlight me, because I've been, again, very fortunate to have the career where I'm noticed by the Vogues and all that. So I can't really speak on that, but I think everything right now is about clickbait. You know what I mean? Like, it's about, they want to write a story, and whoever gets the most clicks get the story, basically. So that's the dynamic, like, in the industry right now.
It's true.
Damn. Okay, so you started. I know your story about how you started with Beyonce. I'm gonna just tell a really quick story. So years ago, I think you were turning 35. I was in a relationship with the most pathetic individual in the world. May he rest in peace. He ain't dead, but he's dead to me.
He's in the Jason cemetery.
Oh yeah, he's buried. There's a big old tombstone too. Nigga wasn't shit. But anyway, at the time I was in love, and Ty said, you should come to my birthday party. And what I've said publicly or privately to people is that, like, we've been friends since, I don't know, 30 years ago. And we never sit down and talk about Beyonce. Yeah. Never, because I think the people that know you, I've never called you about Celine or Ariana. But now that you're here, I'm going to definitely ask questions. Because I appreciate our friendships, and I appreciate the work that it takes to build trust with people like that, you know, and the fact that you can maintain a friendship with me. But anyway, I'll tell the story. So Ty said, you want to come to my birthday? He knows I'm a big Beyonce fan. I'm like, you know, I'm trying to act like I don't want to come. You know, Ty, you know, I'm busy. He's like, listen, come, and I'm just going to put it out there. Beyonce's hosting the party on the low. I said, if you really want me to come, Ty, we're going to try to make it. I went home and booked everything I could book. Flights, hotels. I invited people. He's like, you can bring whoever you. I mean, really accommodating. So the party, I think, started around 8. We were there at 8:02. There's only a couple people in the party because I want to get there on time. I wanted, you know, because some experiences you want to soak in. But what I loved is that night, so I get in the party, and so my assistant at the time, Raphael, he walks in and he says, oh my God, Jay-Z's right there. I said, because I didn't tell them where we were going. I just said we're going to a party. So he's freaking. I'm like, relax. You know, you acting like a little bitch. They're going to put us out of here. Then he goes, okay. Beyonce's sitting next to him. I bitched out all the way through the party. I had to go to the bar and get drunk. But anyway, later that night, I got drunk and I'm telling Beyonce my whole life story. And Ty is so sweet. Ty came over and just in a really gracious way grabbed me and carried me out of there. But I was just very appreciative of the experience because, you know, she is such a phenomenal icon. And in fashion as well, in because of your work.
Thank you.
When you get an artist like that, you started out very early on where I guess you were working in the store and you ran into Tina. For people that don't know the story, can you just share that?
Well, I started in the health industry. I used to work on artificial heart valves, believe it or not. I used to sit under a microscope, work on heart valves, and everything. I made really good money until I found out one of my good friends had a heart valve. And so this place that I loved to go to that I was making really good money became this depression pot that I hated to go to. And I just one day decided that, you know, the president at the time had family leave. You can leave your job for up to 3 months if you were cool with the president, with the boss. So I went to my boss and was like, I have a lot of stuff going on. I need to take a family leave. And he was like, well, you know, definitely we love you here. You could come back. So I packed my car and I moved to Houston, Texas. And that's kind of how everything happened. I started doing window dressing for different stores and I was doing visuals. And I met Miss Tina at the time when No 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 was on the radio at one of the stores that I worked at in Houston, Texas. So being that my mom was 4 hours away, or 3 hours away, or 2 hours away when I'm driving from Austin to Houston, she became like my other mother. So every time things came in that looked like the group, I would call her and contact her. And we just built a relationship. So when Independent Women hit, she was doing everything by herself, and she was like, I'm gonna get you out of here one day. And I kind of knew each girl individually, but I wasn't a starstruck person. And she kind of seen how, you know, the girls, you know, reacted with me. And she said, I'm gonna get you out of here one day. I didn't believe her. I had a day off at one of my jobs. I called her instead of just relaxing and stuff. I called her, and the rest is history. I ended up doing the Survivor video within a week or two.
And then we're with Beyonce. You were with her for the rest of, for a long time.
Yeah.
How many, 16 years?
It was 1999 is when I started.
Wow.
The end of 1999.
And then you decided one day to walk away from that.
Well, about 3 or 4 years ago, it was just after the On the Run 1. I was tired of running, and we had 3 months off. So they were like, you have 2 to 3 months off. And like everybody else was taking vacations and stuff. And I just decided to work on a lot of the things I wanted to do. So I created my phone case. I did my first clothing line, emojis. That was the beginning phase. And from now on, I've just done so many other things. And it's just been a wonderful journey to really find out who you really are. And just, you know, because I was known for just that one thing. So, but you wanted to do more things. I wanted to do a lot more things. So just to step out on faith and give it a shot. And God has really been blessing me and been great.
I mean, that's a lot of faith. You know, you got to step out on faith and to be having like pretty much. Did you ever feel like you had that job secure for however long?
Yeah, it is secure forever. And if I wanted to go, and I still work with her whenever she needs me.
Well, the one thing I would say,
any other girls, they can call me for anything.
The one thing I would say is having seen you all together, because I'm not sure I'm sure with same with your clients, because you're the closest to them. I mean, you're literally dressing them, right?
Yeah,
when you're touring and you have touring artists and you have an artist who has I think she's just Miss Vegas at this point. She, you know, when you're that close to them, how do you decide when it's time to move on from a client?
I don't. I never want to leave my clients.
And that's the thing. I didn't leave my client. That's the thing I want everyone to know. I didn't leave my client. It's just that I stepped out and started doing other things. And I just recently dressed her for the Sports Illustrated thing. So whenever they need me, I'm there. It's just that I'm working on other projects right now.
And you help to bring in the team that she has. I mean, if I can just be pry a little bit, this is how I'm gonna tell you Ty is a good person. Way better than me. And I use Ty as a compass. I say, if anybody say anything bad about Ty Hunter, you're not a person that I can know. The same with you. I've never heard a bad thing. Never. So I remember I used to try to wonder, like, how do you fall in love when you're always on tour? Like, how do you meet somebody when you're always on tour? And I remember you got in a relationship. Your partner ended up coming in and working with Beyonce. And when you all broke up, you didn't try to get him out of there.
No, I'm not that kind of person. And what's for you is
shit.
What's for you is for you. And talent, like you said, if talent is there, I can be in a room full of people that try to do things to me, and I'm okay. You're not gonna strip me of my character. Ty is who Ty is. So I can speak to you. I know you've done things to me, and I'm gonna give you a compliment. And it don't make me fake. It just lets you know that you're not gonna strip me of my character, and you're not gonna make me uncomfortable. So I'm gonna give you a compliment. I might buy you a drink or two, and now you're uncomfortable. Now you're uncomfortable, ready to quit and stuff like that. So the thing is just knowing who you are and being true to yourself, and it's gonna whatever is meant to be will be. A lot of battles I don't fight, I hand them over to the Lord.
Come on.
And so when I went to church this Sunday, I still got a little bit of the Holy Ghost left in me. Maybe and I don't know about by the end of the day, but right now it's still there. All right, so listen, we take a lot of amazing photos at Hollywood Unlocked, and I too, myself, take personal photos that I love and cherish a lot. And so for those of you that have all of these amazing photos on your phone, wouldn't you want to have those special photos that are on your phone or computer hanging on your wall?
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
So you have your dog. You could put your dog right over your bed.
Yes.
Canvas people have transformed your photos into beautiful, unique, museum-quality canvases that are easy to hang and make fabulous home decor.
And by the way, right now, Canvas people will give today's listeners an 11 by 14 canvas, a $69.99 value for free.
Ain't that amazing? Well, that's right. Free, people. You heard it. FREE. So just pay the shipping and visit canvaspeople.com, upload your photo, and enter the special code UNLOCKED. And listen, I took a photo while I was away for my birthday. I had a little too many cocktails at STK with the team, and I'm going to upload it today and print it out.
That's good. I think, with new age technology, we sometimes forget about the beauty of hanging up a photo in your home. So it's great that Canvas gives us that opportunity.
I only have one picture in my house, and it's of my dog. So
but that's what I said. I know
I'm getting another one of my dog.
This would be great for you. So listen, I know you're going to love Canvas People. To get your free print, go to canvaspeople.com today and use our code UNLOCKED. So when you popped up on America's Next Top Model as one of the judges, next to one of the most iconic women in fashion, Tyra Banks, who, by the way, needs to run me my money. I'm gonna just keep 1,000. I ran into Tyra at the ATL movie premiere, and I said, "Hey, girl, how are you? Hey." And I was trying to get to Diana Ross, but I took my time to say, "Hey, you ever thought of adding men on America's Top Model?" Because at the time I was friends with Don Benjamin, and he was a rapper, but he wanted to model, and he had model. And she said, "How many male supermodels do you know?" I said, "Tyson Beckford." And she was looking at me, and she said, "Exactly." And she just walked out. I was like, "Oh, well, that's why she's iconic, because she knows there's no place for men." Years later, boom, Don Benjamin's on America's Top Model. Yeah. I ain't got no check, so.
Anyway, but that was before my time.
That was way before your time.
Before my time.
By the way, I'm in love with Rob Evans, who's a friend of mine who used to be on that show, by the way. So he's just the most beautiful man in the world. All right, so you're on that show. How do you find your place in that? How do you decide what you're going to bring to that show, because it is so iconic and she's so iconic?
Well, the thing about me, if we know each other, but I don't know if you really kind of know me. Like, the thing about me is that I'm authentic in every aspect of my life. When I'm with Celine Dion, who is one of the most legendary icons ever, globally, I'm just me. I talk to her just the way I'm talking to you. So I think the reason why I was casted on that show is because A, of my resume, and just B, because of my authenticity. Like when I say I'm from Chicago, like I am really from fucking Chicago.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I'm not from the suburbs and all
You're
that
not from
shit.
downtown Chicago where
No.
Chicago is at. Okay.
I actually, it's so funny because my family actually kind of grew up in the same, well, not kind of, but we grew up in the same building as Chief Keef. So like I'm really from fucking Chicago.
Damn, man.
You know what I'm saying? Like some real
There
shit.
you go.
But yeah, and a lot of people don't know this, but my very first like real client I was on a retainer with and did like music videos and all that was K Michelle.
Oh, I just interviewed her.
I know. That's why I'm bringing it up. So I've,
Okay, you've been around the.
yeah.
She had.
I mean, I can vouch for
Should've
you on
good
the
work.
authenticity part because when I first met you, when I was hosting R Brunch, LA Zen Lounge, I didn't know who the fuck you was. I was just like, I was talking to Brian. I was like, yo, who this cool ass nigga right here? He buying drinks for everybody, popping bottles.
Yeah.
And it was like 3-4 more times, the same place. You always show me love. And then I see your ass on the Mannix Top Model. And I was like, this motherfucker somebody.
But this is
and I
what-
never knew who you were.
But this is what I love about both of you, and I want to make sure people know. I was at Puff's house. I don't know if you remember. I was at Puff's house with Melissa, and I mean, casual. Yeah, it's a casual. We was at Puff's.
Yeah.
And I remember I walked out on the patio, and it wasn't everybody in the room was. I mean, it was like Diplo and fucking Spider-Man. What's his name? Toby, whatever. Toby Maguire. And you walked up. I mean, and we talked, and I think you had a fur on or something. You definitely had a fur on.
Probably.
But there's no ego. Like the thing about both of you that I love is that whether it's a conversation or passing in somewhere, there's no ego. You don't enter the room like like a diva, and I respect that. And I see you treat everybody like that.
I just
both
think
of
that
you.
shit is played out. It's so
is.
90s. You know what I mean? Like
Go for the Midwest.
at the end of the day, it's just at the end of the day, it's closed. It's a little that, and I think that's another reason why I'm having a career that I'm having is because I don't have an ego. Because when I walk in to dress whoever it is, somebody that maybe just got on their first show, or Mariah or Naomi or whoever, say I approach everybody the same way. Like I'm just really grateful to be where I am, but also I understand that what I do is no different from the housekeeper or the babysitter. Like I'm in the service industry.
Wow.
You know what I mean? They call me.
Do you really look at it like that?
Absolutely.
That's the way you stay humble. I think
do.
that's a great
That's
way to look at
exactly
it.
the way I look
exactly
at
how
it.
I do it too. Because the thing is, even when I, started, I would go to the showrooms and I would do things for the interns, the girl that answered the phone, all those people. Because if you don't not acknowledge those people and you feel like you're better than those people, one day those people could be internet. And in this case, it did happen.
Wow.
People would come in and be fabulous and say, "I'm just here to see Lisa," and not speak to the girl at the front desk and the interns and all the people that's doing the work that's helping. And you just here to see Lisa and you acting like these people are nothing. Well, Lisa doesn't work there anymore. And now these people that you weren't speaking to are now running the showroom. So it was a time in New York where stylists were calling me saying, "Can you please call this showroom and see if they could pull it? Because they're not going to let me pull nothing until you come see the stuff." So it's just really treating everybody how you want to be treated, because who you might see at the top might not be at the top. And the people that are under you might be above you one day. So it's just good to always acknowledge people and be nice to people.
Oh.
So have you both met Anna Wintour?
I have.
Who's Anna Wintour?
Wait. See, the Chicago ain't gonna let you tell me a lie.
No, it's not a lie. I've been in the room with Anna. Like I love the fantasy of fashion too, right? So I love being afraid of her. Even though if you meet people who really know her and they say she's not what people
But
may have.
is she the ice queen people say she is?
I think that's her persona.
Who's Anna Wintour? I'm sorry. Don't know.
Anna Wintour is the editor-in-chief of Vogue, American Vogue, who is like the most powerful
So
person
like the
in
Met
fashion.
Gala, the Met Gala that you seen Devil Wears Prada, they say it's loosely based on her. Basically, she's the shit in fashion.
But I love, when I see her, I run away. But that's just part of me growing up with this fantasy of fashion. But I will say that woman is brilliant and she knows what's going on.
Exactly.
Like she knows every fucking thing, and it's just. But I love being scared of her. You know what I mean? Like, because everybody's like, "Oh, it's Anna." Like, I love the fantasy of Devil Wears Prada, where like people get off the elevator when she get
It's
on.
one of my favorite movies.
You know what I mean? So but she's. I know a lot of people who work really close with her, and they love her and say she's genuine and she's she's shy, and you know what I mean? Like all the things you wouldn't think.
And you've interacted with her?
I've just speak, not a full out conversation.
But that's fun though. It's kind of like
But you can't.
it's Anna.
But can you walk up to her and be like, "Girl, you want a cocktail?"
Well, I wouldn't do that because I just don't do that to anybody. But
at your birthday party, I was living my life, and Beyonce turns around with a tray of Patron and says, "Do you want a shot?" Bitch, don't talk to me. I can't even deal. So I get the fear part, but you can't. She's not that girl. She's just in the room.
I don't know. I'm not afraid to go up to anybody or stuff like that. It's just that I see what you're saying. Like you don't want to. You have this in your mind.
You have an image of her.
Yeah, and I don't want to mess it up.
A lot of times it's people that I wanted to meet, and I'd be like, oh, why did this person is ass. You know what I mean? So I get that part, but yeah.
What kind of pressure it is that you have on your shoulders, like preparing a client for like a Met Gala? Is that like a, let me just go pull some stuff, or is that like a few months?
Because
that's like a,
and especially
it just depends on how much time you have. Like it is a process though, because it's finding out what the theme is. And then you're going through trying to find out what your client wants. Like, you want to be sexy? Do you want to be a goddess? Whatever. So then trying to get the designer to sketch and bring to life and meet each other halfway.
Oh, so we getting things made.
Sketches, yeah. And she go this one, and then you get them to make the stuff, and then you have fittings. It's a whole process.
Jesus, any one of your clients ever tell you like, I don't like this shit? What you fucking pulled me this shit for?
No.
I'm
saying it's just like when you're trying to get people out of their comfort zone.
Oh yeah,
like clients or whatever, and they say, "I don't want to show my legs." The whole thing of me being a stylist is to try to get people to not be like this.
Yes.
Sorry, to not be so insecure and just love themselves as a whole. We're not born with clothes on.
That was deep.
Not one outfit. So your skin is your number one outfit. Until you get comfortable in that, you're gonna always feel insecure. The reason why the ladies feel great that we dress, because when they go out there, they have confidence. And confidence is something that you have to wear some of these garments.
I don't know.
I can pull look number 3 from Givenchy, and when you put it on, you're gonna look a hot mess.
Shit, but it also depends on the body type too, because I ain't getting no custom made suit with these legs.
Yeah, but
I need a Steve Harvey suit.
But let me tell you something. I had Ugo dress me one time. Ugo Mosley, who I remember riding around with Ugo in a car that had broken windows. Okay, and I look at Ugo now, and I'm fucking proud of him. Right? I'm sure you guys are proud. And I know you guys.
Yeah,
I love Ugo. Yeah.
I do too.
But I remember he dressed me. When he brought the stuff to my hotel room, I was like, I ain't putting none of that shit on because all that shit ain't gonna fit right. And when he put it on, I look hella good because you all are.
That's what we do.
That's what your job is, to make the people who are vulnerable feel that confidence to get out there, because you've dressed. I mean, Beyonce's had so many Met Gala carpet moments where it's just like, damn, y'all just gonna. I mean, it's been nonstop that I've seen you guys have just gotten it right.
Thank you.
When have you dressed anybody for the Met?
I had 4 people at the Met this year, sir.
Oh, really?
Get your goddamn facts together, sir.
Did we research who my clients are before I got here?
It's right here on the paper, sir.
Wait. Actually, I know all his clients, and I know who was at the Met. I'm waiting for that Southside Chicago to pop out here.
I'm like, wait a minute.
You see the pause and how he turned.
I knew he had 4
in the chair, and how he pulled his collar together,
like
knowing it's unbuttoned.
Yeah.
So when you're getting your clients ready for the gala, do any of them say, "What's that bitch wearing"?
No.
Because
they don't.
Do they? So they're all. It's all about them. Like your moment with them.
Yeah. Is that hilarious? But I would love to say that I have a great bedside manner with my clients. You know, like the thing about me is that I really, really love women. Like I've always loved women. I've always been obsessed with women. I think being a woman is such an art form. You know, and it comes back from watching my mom and my grandmothers get ready for church and the preparation and all that. So that just kind of stuck with me as a child growing up and getting into what I'm doing. So I have a way of, and also at the end of the day, I am still a man. So women see when you see something in them or when you see something sexy, and they pick up on all of that. And then the other thing about working with celebrities is that you have to have a certain type of confidence to walk into the room and be that
and propose things to them. Yeah,
and you have to have conviction about it. You know what I mean? But then you also have to know when the day where they're not feeling as beautiful or their period might have just started, or you know what I mean? And you have to know when to back the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to know when to push and then when to pull back. So it's this job is very cerebral, and I think people always think that it's about picking a pretty dress.
And do you think people?
And that's the last thing.
Do you think people just see it and say, oh, they see the glamour in the job?
Absolutely.
They don't see like because what I loved about Devil Wears Prada. that girl was stressed the fuck out.
Yeah.
But what you saw and what I love in it, and the reason why I love the movie so much, besides all the cattiness and the shade and all that, was
Which Anne Hathaway is one of my clients.
Yeah.
Woo! And she was in Ocean's 8.
first of all,
That was another
First
one.
of all, I don't like you.
I'm just saying.
that's
I mean, if you're gonna bring me here,
That's that Midwest
if you're
shit.
gonna bring it here, let's say some things that inspire the people. You know what I mean?
What I
Midwest shit.
loved about that movie though was her Anne Hathaway's determination.
Yeah.
You know what it shows, like in what you're doing. You know, especially like. You know, I used to be really good friends with B. Scott. I was cool. I liked to like everybody. People think we fell out because he tried to out Tiger. That's not why we fell out. That's just when I put him on blast because I was laying in London. I had time on my hands. But why we fell out was because he had took me to drinks one day and tried to talk about this one. You can't hate. If you hate on somebody that you know is a good person to me, then I know you're going to do that to me. So it's a matter of time. I say all that to say, when you're in this role and they see the glamour of you at the Met or they see you with Anne or with Celine or whatever, how do you protect and safeguard yourselves from allowing yourself to become a victim of hate or jealousy or whatever?
I don't even look at it. A lot of times I don't scroll down if I'm, I just don't care. I really don't. As long as my client is happy, that's all that matters because people gonna talk anyway.
Fashion is so subjective. Like everybody has an opinion.
You can feel
it's
your
just
best.
like I think I could use Zendaya as my. I mean, Celine is just
And and Zendaya, you really, I mean, I'm gonna just go and give credit where credit's due. You really did make her a young fashion icon. I remember.
I'm the only stylist she's ever had.
I remember Zendaya
Killed
before.
it.
I remember it was Zendaya before you when she was just doing her thing, and it was like, oh, she's a cute little girl. Then it was like, what?
Yeah, she's so
So
pretty.
anyway, I just wanted to.
Wait, before you go there, Jack, I gotta ask you this. Did you, the Versace on the dance floor, you did her? Man.
He just said I'm the only stylist she ever had.
I'm sorry, nigga. Damn, I thought she probably could have picked it out. But that's the first time I looked at her and said,
Anyway.
she looking like a woman now.
Yeah.
So you were,
This shit,
were you said you were? I'm sorry, I cut your thought off.
When you have a relationship like that and you also work with people who are fearless, like you just don't care. Like you don't care about the critics. Like with Zendaya, we do. Like I literally dreamt about her Met Gala when she Joan of Arc. And I just
It was
I call
beautiful.
I call Versace and I'm like, listen, all the sketches you sent are beautiful, but I had this dream. Can we work on this? And then, it's just she has no fear.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we did. I don't really care about what the critics say, and I love that I work with women who don't care either because it's
And
like if you're happy and
you
beautiful.
came straight to my Instagram to let me know you didn't care because I said, oh, I love Cardi and Rihanna, and you were like, what about Zendaya? And the fans were letting me have it, and I was like, oh shit.
I mean, like, no, hands down, Rihanna is the queen on the Met, like for sure. And, in the last few years, and I think Zendaya's like right there on her heels, like she's the princess. That's my baby.
So when you were doing Destiny's Child and you had all four of the girls,
Three.
Yeah,
I started
Farrah
at
Oh,
wasn't
you started
in
with
there.
three. Okay.
I started at 3.
Yeah.
Then you had 4, but Farrah didn't really
I
count.
started at 3.
Okay. All right. We're not going to talk about Farrah. Okay. So when you're dressing those 3 girls, so Beyonce doesn't pull you aside and say, I love both of them, but I got to look better than both of them.
No,
It's not.
No, the girls are true sisters, which is like they try to put them against each other, but they know that if one looks good as a group, then it's not going to look good. So it's like the whole group has to look good. And they've always been making sure that each girl, they'd be like, no, this would look better on Michelle. This would be like, they all help each other. We all kind of get together and help because I wasn't a celebrity stylist and they wasn't this big group. We all grew together.
Wow.
So that's how, Beyonce was not Beyonce, and Ty wasn't. Like we all had to grow together and learn this thing, and nobody would let us pull in the beginning. So a lot of things Miss Tina had to make, and all during the time all the girls were wearing, it was cool to look like a boy.
Was this House of DeLeon days?
No.
This was before that. You were before that.
Very on. I'm way before that.
Way before that.
Shit, my bad. I'm just asking the question.
But no one would let us pull. So, and at the time, all the girls were dressing like boys because that was the style. You had TLC, Escape, and so the girls was wearing the boys' clothes, cross colors and stuff. And so Miss Tina wanted to bring old Hollywood glamour back. So we would always dress the girls like old Hollywood glamour and have them set apart. So that when independent women dropped, it became easier for us to pull clothes.
But when Beyonce in 2003, when she decided to go solo, and I think she made her big reveal. I think at the BET Awards, you styled that, right? When she did that, didn't her career just take off in a way that was just like you were gone, like you were just on the road consistently?
Yeah, but I had already been on the road consistently with Destiny's Child, and then with Kelly's solo project, with Michelle's solo
okay.
project, with Solange solo project.
Get 'em together.
And Destiny Child back together again. Then each girl solo project. Like I never had a break, so
Wow.
I would just go into the next girl.
And so I'm assuming these clients of yours, like a Celine, who by the way, there's a clip of them singing together, Destiny
ago,
Child and
yeah.
her, and the fact that she would share her stage with the Beyonce and Beyonce be humbled to be with her. I mean, I love the womanhood, and hopefully we see more of that, because I know in my industry it's so cutthroat where everybody wants to be the one. I'm like, I've had Perez Hilton here. You're the king of it. I don't have a problem saying you started it. And Hollywood Unlocked is going to be Hollywood Unlocked and all the others. But when you're working with Beyonce and she's not even at the peak of her career, because I feel like she's still going. Did you see early on when she started the solo career that she was going to be the big, phenomenal, independent superstar?
I did it when I did the Crazy in Love video in the monitor. I actually started crying
Really?
because I saw her turn into a woman right there.
Damn. That was deep.
Yeah.
When you have a Celine Dion, what I was going to get to is both of you have these iconic women who've had iconic
Yes.
fashion moments. Do they keep warehouses of all their stuff that they know one day is going to be on an auction or some
Yeah,
days?
you archive. Yeah.
And do you guys have to manage that?
No, Celine. Celine is one of the most incredible people I ever met. She literally, she archives everything. I think she has everything she's ever worn in the last 30 years.
Shit.
Really?
Fucking warehouse.
Where do they put that stuff? I mean, because you ain't
It's
going in the
a
backyard.
warehouse.
It's a warehouse, and it's all logged in the computer, and you can just type and say this.
Why is it that
order.
they keep it? What she keep it though? Is
Because
it
she
like
pays for her
keepsakes?
clothes.
legends, and you got museums, and you know.
So she.
I mean, when you
paid-
have a type of career like Beyonce or Celine, like there will be a retrospect. There will be a Met Gala for
Them, yeah.
this,
And,
do their clothes in.
it's history. They made so many groundbreaking moments that item is just it's.
But do you guys feel, because they're wearing it, but you guys are creating it? Don't you?
No, well, the thing about a lot of things about Celine that people don't know, that she's one of the only artists that still performs in couture. Like
And couture for people like him, it's where it's just made for her. Mm-hmm. Okay. You know that.
Yeah.
No, I didn't know
Couture is
that.
where they make the one dress for you.
I didn't know what that's what. Thank you.
Couture.
Couture. I was thinking about Juicy.
House of Couture, if you hear that, that may be a ball somewhere up in New York City.
Yeah.
So that's a one-off. Got you.
No, that's
One on one.
It was a gay thing.
It's
yeah.
a whole.
you
It's a
stupid
whole.
asshole.
It's a that in itself is an art as well. But she is one of everything that she wears in her show in Vegas is couture. Everything that she's worn on this recent tour, which I didn't style. This great guy named Pepe styled that. But it's couture. It's all and people don't know, when you buy couture, you also buy an exclusive where nobody else can buy it.
And that's why it's so expensive.
Because it's one of a kind.
So when I knew Marc Jacobson, and Marc Jacobs was gonna he had invited Cardi to the Met. She was gonna go as his guest. And I don't know what happened. She ended up with Jeremy Scott. But when you see that dress that she wore, Rihanna's The Pope or Zendaya, or Beyonce with that, she had that what was that fabric y'all used with the little?
Which one?
It was
the latex thing. A long time
latex.
ago?
Yeah. So those things are they on mannequins in warehouses, or are they just like in a bag?
No, we do like photos and just certain types of bags for different materials, and you just log it all and have it all in the computer.
But that couture stuff, they will never wear that again.
I mean, if for instance, I had to do a Pepsi commercial that was Beyonce fighting all the Beyoncés from all the decades.
So she wore the looks.
So I had to go and, some things I had to, because back then when I did videos, you return a lot of things. So if you return, like most things you keep, but sometimes if it's a sample and it's not couture, you return it. And so I had to try to get but I thank God I had everything except for 2 or 3 pieces. But that just goes to show why it's important to keep all of your famous moments. So you can go back to them when you need to.
And so if a Celine Dion museum ever was to pop up, or a Beyonce museum, or an icon museum with these moments, then you just go back and get those.
Yeah.
Well, Celine has a whole team that handles that.
Just her fashion.
Yeah.
That handles her archive.
And if she has too many cheeseburgers and it don't fit, it's just like, girl, we can't get back in that look. Not that Celine's gonna have that.
Yeah.
So listen, I know what I'm getting everybody for Christmas. If you have a pet, I'm gonna get you BarkBox, because your dog deserves to be able to play with toys just like you do.
I already have BarkBox, but you can pay for it.
Okay, not a
Moving
problem.
forward.
Well, we have Rosa Acosta in the building, and she has a dog. You love
Yes,
dogs.
I do. Yes, I do.
Do you go to the? Do you still go to the rescue every?
Sometimes, yeah. Because now that I rescue my dog, like he takes a lot of my time. But yeah,
That's a big ass dog.
and he's only 55 pounds, and he's still a baby in my eyes.
But it's a pit bull.
He's a pit bull French bulldog mix.
So for those of you that don't know, BarkBox is a subscription service that basically delivers gifts to your puppies
Every month.
Every month.
That's so cute.
Yay!
Well, how it works is they curate every box to meet your dog's needs. All right, you can change your dog's size at any time. If your puppy grows, your BarkBox will grow with your dog.
And you can choose a different plan, any plan that you want. 1, 6, or 12-month plans. They're all available. Free shipping to anywhere in the U.S. and Canada. And that is, yes, everywhere.
Become best friends with your mailman. From now on, your dog is going to be so ridiculously happy every time a package shows up.
You can get up to 40 value for $20. All the toys will keep your dogs engaged. All the treats are made in the USA or Canada without corn, soy, or wheat. When you're unboxing everything, your dog is like really excited. I really don't know what the hell they put in that box, but they go bananas. As soon as they see that box, I want to know, what is it, you guys? It's like something special in there. I don't know if they smell the treats or what, but they just go crazy.
What I love about the brand is that all the toys are designed in-house with very best materials like stomach-safe T-shirt, rope, spike ball cores, and dozens of innovative squeakers. If your dog don't like the gift, send it back. They'll replace it for free.
But they like all of them, I promise.
You know, it's a great value, too. Living in this economy, we always want to find ways of cutting corners. And so you get to save all your money and only spend $20 for the subscription.
Also, if your dog has allergies, they will accommodate all your needs of your puppy. And the happiness is 100% guaranteed.
You know, I love the fact that it's 100% happiness guaranteed, because in life, you should be guaranteed happiness 100% of the time. And fortunately for you, that is what BarkBox offers. So listen, give your friend and their dog a gift, and not only will you surprise them the first time, but will continue to deliver joy throughout the year. Dog owners always need treats and toys, so you're doing double duty as a good friend when you give a BarkBox.
And if you don't want to send a BarkBox directly to their door, we can mail a physical gift card or electronic gift card to their email on a date you specify.
To get this amazing gift, go to barkbox.com/unlocked, and for a free month of BarkBox, visit barkbox.com/unlocked when you subscribe to a 6 or 12-month plan. Do you all ever want to be, because I always would have thought you would have become like an editor at Vogue or something, or do you ever have aspirations of getting in the media side outside of the show, but like whether it's corresponding on the red carpet and you've done carpet?
Yeah, I've done that.
Do you still want to do stuff like that, or where do you
mean, I'm down to do whatever I feel at the time. You know what I mean? So if something comes to me, I'll go yay or nay. But yeah, I love doing it. I love being on the carpet. I'm doing more TV stuff. I'm working on my books. So all that is part of it. So yeah, I'll do more of those things.
And on America's Top Model, you're still there?
I don't know if we're coming back or not. I'm obligated to do another season, which I would love to do, but I don't know if it's happening.
They need the thick guys on there, like a thick section model. Like, come on for the thick boys.
No.
We could model.
We ain't trying to see plus size
I'm not.
America's Top
First off,
Model.
I'm not plus size. I'm not plus. I'm a 30. I'm a 38.
Now
What?
you went to Tyra and you was like boys, and
See?
now it's happening. So don't do
Okay,
that.
Tyra, I am a thick guy, and Giovanni is also plus size. I'm telling you right now.
They don't call it plus size anymore. That's politically
Yeah, that
incorrect.
is
You have to
not
call
racist.
it curve. You have to call it curve.
Curves.
Really?
What the? I ain't got
Okay,
no curves.
listen.
So y'all learning.
Oh, you got some curves.
Oh my God!
Thank you, Law. Law will
Don't
tell
try
me.
Yo, moving on.
So I'm no
Now he
longer-
ready to go.
So I'm gonna call you. So I'm gonna just call you Curvy.
I'm not fucking curvy, Jason. I almost flicked you off.
That's okay.
I'm thick.
That's
I'm
a
thick.
nice-
I'm like cold thick for Martin.
Okay, well, we're not gonna say thick. We're gonna say curvy because that's the politically correct.
Yeah,
we have a small person coming on the show next week, so let me tell you, just hop up here and let's go. All right, so you designed Zendaya's collection.
Yeah, I co-designed and co-created her collection. Yeah.
Sound like you got a bag.
So-
Sound like both of y'all just got a bag.
So now, are you got into design? You did your own collection as well. Was it not? Was that with Patricia Fields? Why
No,
I
I had
thinking-
my unisex line was sold at Patricia Fields.
Okay, that's what I remember.
With Serve Fresh. I have a line coming out. I'm debuting in Paris Fashion Week with Greedaless.
Nice.
This right here, Korean designer. We did a lot of great things together. We've worked every fashion week. So everything was going well. I was doing all the bags for them, and now because it was doing so great, we did a collection. So that's debuting, and I'm coming out with sunglasses for the holidays as well. Working on my book, the 3 books actually, and just doing a lot of things that I want to do, and just living. You know, the world is crazy, so I'm just living and enjoying life and doing everything that I want to do for me, and putting that energy that I put into others, into myself, and building my brand.
How old was your daughter? Because you have a daughter. How old was your daughter when you first started working with Destiny Child?
She was a baby. She's 23 now. So I don't know. She was a baby. I think like 5 or 6, 4 or 5.
Do you feel like you missed anything?
I missed a lot.
Did you?
Yeah, I missed a lot. And that's the thing, like the sacrifices, that's the thing I always try to tell people. You just going off what you see on social media, the final product, but you sacrifice so much.
Yeah.
Like, you know, even my mom right now she's has cancer, but I don't talk about those things. You still have to go to work. You still have to live. You have to do what you have to do. So that's the hard part, just being able to just live your life and still be able to be there for the ones you love.
So do you feel like you're catching up with all the things you missed now?
Yes. And you know, like I used to be jealous because I didn't have FaceTime and Skype and all that stuff. Cell phones weren't even out when I think we had Skype pagers or something.
So when you're gone, you're gone.
Yeah, so I had to, you know, even when I started, I used to carry a phone book and act like I'm staying in this expensive hotel to use the concierge. I'm looking for black dresses in China. So all those things, I didn't have Style.com. I didn't have none of that stuff. I had to learn all this on my own. So to see the kids today just touch a celebrity at one time and say I'm a celebrity stylist, is like, no, you're not, bitch. you gotta put the time in. You know what I mean?
The sacrifice.
Yeah.
Because I will say, when you, I'm not gonna say left Beyonce, but when you backed up and started focusing on you, I was actually happy for you.
Thank you.
Because I remember, like, you know, you were always gone. And I remember when I was in a relationship, and I remember you saying something to me. I forget everything you said, but you were happy for me being in a relationship, but I was sad for you not being able to be in one.
Yeah.
You know, so I understand. I was saying earlier before we started the show, I went to church this last week. I'm not a churchy person at all, like, but I love God, and I'm like every day. You're not gonna sit across from me and not acknowledge there's a higher power navigating this. I was sitting in church and I just started crying, and I was looking at people crying because they were going through stuff, and I was crying because I hadn't stopped to thank Him for everything that I have. And you know, you've known me for a while, and you've known me for a long time. I mean, I've had a journey getting to where I am, and I'm not even halfway there yet.
Yeah.
So you taking a step back and focusing on you has been an amazing thing to watch. What are you doing to preserve yourself and and like living in it and not allowing it to consume you?
It consumes me.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like,
It consumes.
What you speaking to your point, like these younger kids, they see the end result and they want it so fast, but they didn't see, like, I was living in Chicago. Atlantic called me to take a meeting about this artist, and it happened to be Kay. And they was like, oh, well, can you take this meeting tomorrow? Are you local? And so I had to learn that local meant you have to be able to work in New York, but I didn't live there. So I spent.
Were you still in Chicago?
Okay. I spent all the money. I went to Atlanta. I went to
New
York, took the meeting with Atlantic, and you know, booked it. And it was like, oh, but I don't live here. So I literally reinvested every single dollar that I made to get back. And it's been a hustle. Like, people think that I came out of nowhere, but I've been like perfecting this for like 6 or 7 years now. And I've worked with, like, I started with Kay. I was happy to meet Zendaya. So me and Zendaya was doing our own thing, building what we were building.
You were with her. Were you with her just exclusively, Zendaya exclusively for a while?
No. I did.
You were doing other things.
See, let me tell you. I did Zendaya. I was doing Kay. I did Brandy, Monica, Lala. I did SWV. I did Jeremiah.
I know you did.
Like, I've done a lot of people. You know what I mean? And then I also had to figure out what I wanted the trajectory of my career to be. Like, I wanted to be Rachel Zoe. You know, since she was the first stylist that I really knew. And, you know, before I knew who June was, I kind of knew who Rachel was. And I was like, I want to be Rachel. I came into this industry, I want to be a white woman. You know what I mean? Like, and that is the career that I wanted. You know, I wanted to sit front row at Dior and all those things. And I'm so happy that I've been able to prove myself, because you do have to prove yourself, and we have to prove ourselves and work 10 times harder than, our counterparts. But yeah, so I figured out what I wanted my trajectory to be. And so then, this is really sad, but this is true, and I want people to hear this. Like, we can get pigeonholed in this industry. So I was doing Tamar and Lala, and I was doing all these girls who I loved and who were paying great rates. I was making a shitload of money. And so then I went and I met with an agency. I had never had an agent, and I met with an agency, and I'm proud, because I'm from Chicago. I'm a hustler. So if you making money, that's all I think you should care about. Right. You know what I mean? Like, I'm making money, you know? And so they looked at my book and they was just like, well, we don't think you're ready for this. Because of who my clientele was. And that really broke my heart.
They didn't think you're ready for what?
They didn't think I was ready to be signed to this agency.
Even with all your work?
Even with all my,
and this is what he just said.
This was a few years ago. All my work was people who I was doing Brandy and Monica. You know what I mean? Like, these are iconic women. I was doing Lala and and Tamar and Tamar.
But they felt because you hadn't touched a white woman yet that you weren't ready.
Correct.
Yeah.
So and Tamar had Tamar had an album out. She had 2 television shows. So Tamar checks were amazing. And I loved being around her. And so I had to purposely change the trajectory of my career to get to where I am now. And my fight is like, I don't think we should have to do that.
Yeah, I agree.
I did that sacrifice for everybody else, but still today you can get pigeonholed. And so I was like, well, I told one of my friends, I was like, you know what? I don't think I could do the black girls no more. And when I think back of me having to say that and do that, breaks my heart. You know what I mean? But now I'm at a place where I could do whoever I want to do.
Yeah.
But I earned that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, I just think you had to break a boundary and to just make history, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just show that we can go outside of that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's good, and I commend you, because it's good to come back to.
Yeah, and to like answer your question, like I'm of course trying to put my hands in the whole thing, but I still think that I'm still fighting to get to a level where I'm so blessed that people are inspired by what I do, right?
Right.
So I'm fighting to still just get higher and higher and higher to show that we brown creatives of color are able and we're capable and we can do it.
Well, and to validate the fact that, you all set trends for the other people that are doing the work too.
Yeah.
Again, you look at a Celine Dion or a Zendaya, it's not like you got there because they just covered their eyes and pointed around and found you. You earned the seat at the table. It's so interesting. Where I've learned in my business where racism lies, at least one of the things, is in raising money. It's harder for black people to raise money. I didn't even understand the lack of capital available to people of color and how many times I'm in the room telling people, here's my vision. Here's where I know digital's going, or here's where I believe this show can go, and I know I'm fighting harder in the rooms to get people to get it. And then when I find people discover it, I'm like, oh, you get it. But how do you keep humility in the process? Because I've found that as long as I stay locked on the vision, I say, well, I know where it's going. Yeah. I know where it's going to be. And I know my speech when I say when I arrive, that it's going to include definitely a little shade to those that didn't see it. How do you keep the humility?
You know you are in your mind where you're going, and so in that process, on this journey you're going, you already know I'm going here. So in this process, there's going to be some turns or whatever, but as long as you know you're going there, that's all that matters. You're going to lose a lot of people and not going to be in the car. You probably started out with a van full of people.
Wow, that's
But
powerful.
when you get to your destination, you might be right there by yourself. And whoever's there that made that trip with you, that's your ride or die. So you don't pay attention to none of these people. You just do what you have to do. That's a part of living. So even when people come in there and burn you, everybody come into your life for a reason. So you like, I'm in this storm. What am I supposed to learn from this storm, Lord? And this person did this to me. They are making you a better person and helping you when you get to that trip. When you get to your destination, you've earned it because you fought and did whatever it took to get there. It wasn't just I didn't give you a ticket and say get on a plane and go there. You actually drove there and went there. So it's the whole process of a journey. You can't worry about what people have to say.
Well, yeah, I've always said, like, you can have people in your heart, but they ain't got to be in life. Like, you can love a person, and I can love you from a distance.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't fuck with nobody.
Yeah, and that's how I am. Like
I'm shady as shit. Like
I'm the nicest like person, and I'm the people person or whatever. And I love everybody. Everybody loves me. But at the same time, I can't count 5 friends that I could just call like that. I just know everything or whatever. Because I keep those things, with only my loved ones.
Well, can I say that? You know what's so funny when you say I don't fuck with nobody? Can I just tell you? I say that every single day. I was somewhere, and I'm not gonna say the names of people that we know. I was at dinner with Vlad from Vlad TV and the owner of Hip Hop DX, and we were talking about digital and stuff, how we can grow and work together. And I happened to see some people we knew, and I got up and went over to their table and said, I had the greatest conversation. At the end, one of them said, "Can I have your new number, so I can call you to talk to you about an idea I have?" And I said, "No." Mm-hmm. And they said, "Well, why?" I said, "Before you try to say nigga thought he was all that, I don't want to do anything other than what I'm doing right now, because God put me on this path, and I know every benchmark I need to hit, and it ain't got no detour to what you trying to throw in my plan."
When I say it, it's a little bit different for me. I found the law of attraction.
No pun intended.
Damn, man.
Like right after my mom passed away, so I found it, and so what I learned that energy is so real.
Yeah.
And bad energy is really a disease. It's really a virus. So what's worked for me, and at the end of the day, nobody's gonna take care of you the way you are. Mm-hmm. So what I learned for me is the less of other people's energy I keep around me, the better I do. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, and so I want my career, and I want the things that I say, and I want the milestones that I achieve and all that, and the energy I put out to benefit other people. You don't have to be in my circle to receive that. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's it's me. I feel better when I don't have a lot of people around me. Or I feel better when if you call me and the first 3 things you said out your mouth is a negative, we can't talk anymore.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, I have to take care of me when my energy is together, and when I'm playing at this, I don't have to worry about anything. Anything I ask or anything I've ever dreamt about comes to me. Yeah. So why fuck that up for somebody else?
Yeah, I agree.
You know what I'm saying? It's just not. It's not
energy is transferable too.
It's so transferable. You feel it.
I used to come in here and this show wouldn't be put together. Lights would be start. I said, I had a couple moments where I'm sure my team was like, "Oh, he's being extra." I need to come in here and be able to hear a person, pay attention to their body language, listen to what they're saying, know what I'm talking about. I can't, all the energy distracting me from that ain't gonna let me do what I'm trying to do.
Right.
And I feel like, people, this is Ashton. He's an inspiring model, moved to LA, and I knew you both were coming, so I invited him to come because he's young, fresh off the truck, and he's gonna run into a lot of let me do it for you butts. Let me try to help you butts. So I said, well, you come here, two fashion icons, you can get the good word. What word do you have for those people who are aspiring, whether it's to be a model with the clothes you put on, to be a person that designs the clothes that you're putting on, or a person that is putting on the clothes? What is a good word that you can give them just to be prepared for what this business is going to do to them?
I would just say, just do you. You know what I mean? And if you find yourself going into depression, take social media off your phone. Don't just not go on there. Take it off your phone and just reinstall it later. And just really focus on you and quit comparing yourself to other people, because what happens is when you're looking at what Law is doing or what the other stylists are doing, you feel like you're supposed to be there. And no, bitch, you're not going to be there because that's not for you. You know what I mean? And you're not there because you're looking at what Law is doing and other stylists are doing. So you have to get to a place where you better your craft and know that you have a certain style. Like he said, he wants his style. He wants to be a rich white woman. That's the road he going. You know what I mean? So
I'm there.
What I'm saying, well,
she's a rich white woman.
She's there. But what I'm saying is, he had in his mind,
his journey for him.
His journey was, I want this kind of, and like there's certain there's certain styles. Like I just like stylists when you can look at their work and know that that's their work, and nobody, like, you know what I mean. Some people is like, did they do that or did they do that or did they do that? Because you're looking at other people and comparing or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And trying to get that kind of same feel and vibe when you should just have what works for you. And if you have this certain style that you do, you have to still make sure that your client is comfortable in that. A lot of times you see people on the carpet and they look crazy. Man, it's only because you have to have a voice. You can't just put on clothes and just say, okay, Ty put this on me. I'm gonna go do it. No, you have to have a voice to say, well, I don't feel comfortable. You know what I mean? And you have to just make sure you meet each other halfway. So when that client leaves that room, they feel so confident and beautiful, and it shows.
Mm-hmm. What about you? What advice do you have?
Can you repeat the question?
Advice for somebody wanting to get into the fashion industry, whether they're a model, designer, stylist. What word do you have for them?
The biggest thing is to learn the industry. I kind of had it hard because I didn't have an opportunity to be anybody's stylist or intern or anything like that. I kind of like jumped in it and figured it out. So learn the industry, learn as much as you can, especially your part of the industry. You should be an expert in your part of the industry.
Right.
It's so funny because if an intern come and I'm like, oh, what's your favorite designer? And they'll be like, oh, Chanel. I'm like, well, Chanel's not really a designer. Chanel's a house. So that let me know that you're not.
Wait, Chanel's not a designer?
No.
Oh, because that's the company.
Chanel is the house of Chanel. Karl Lagerfeld is the designer of Chanel.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So it's like those. No, it's
shit.
the things that you're showing me that you really don't understand your industry, and you're not, ready to really kind of give me everything that I need.
So you guys,
you just gotta learn, just like eat it up, learn everything.
And Floyd Mayweather, my sponsor and support of Hollywood Unlocked, did say to me, until you get consumed with it, till you are so consumed that is all that matters, which is very isolating too. But
it is.
It's not going to really work for you. And I found myself not doing it intentionally, but just gravitating towards it to where now it is the only thing. I texted somebody this morning and said, hey, how are you? She said, great. I said, would you host my show next week? She said, no, good morning, no hi, no how are you? If I'm awake, it's a good morning. If I'm talking to you, I'm great. I mean, because there's people on the other side of the dirt. Yeah. One thing I would say is that when you talk about taking social media off your phone, we had Jennifer Lewis here, and she was talking about being bipolar, and I was talking about being depressed. And people were surprised that I was actually saying it out loud because I'm supposed to be hiding.
You have to.
I know I used to be the life of the party and wanting to know everybody and calling and texting and wanting to be around. And then I got so consumed with this that I felt so isolated where I was like, damn. And I had to delete everybody off my phone except for the things that I deal with every day. Hollywood Unlocked, Floyd, Cart, the people, whatever. Not because I didn't like people, but I felt like I was so consumed with the needle you were pushing that I was taking my eyes off the needle I was pushing.
Right.
So do you get that? Do you stay on, or how do you manage that in that world?
I'm obsessed with social media, but I also think I have to be. It's part of my job.
Yeah, and
it's part of my job. But my life. Listen, 3 years ago, I took 115 flights in 1 year. Like I'm when I say I'm a hustler, I'm a hustler. You know what I mean? Like nobody's gonna outwork me. And and I'm very hands-on with my clients. I do a lot. I still do 95% of.
But are you still going in now with all these people? Are you still going and pulling everything?
We were out pulling before we got here. You know what I mean? Like I'm hands-on, and I think that is what's part of what makes me who I am, and why my clients appreciate me, and why my retention rate with my clients is really good, and you know what I mean, and why every day I get somebody else wanting to work with me, because I do it all myself. Like I beat my body up. Like sometimes I can't even get out the bed. I missed every funeral, baby shower, birthday in the last 5 years. Like,
but when do you slow down to take care of yourself though?
I don't. That's what I'm praying for. I'm just gonna be honest. I'm praying for that balance. Like I'm praying for that right now. I still look at myself like I am at year one.
That's good.
Period.
That's good.
Period. Nobody will outwork me.
But what's the goal though? Because let me tell you, I took Cardi B.
House of Law.
I took Cardi B to.
And Cardi's stylist, Colin. Shout out Colin Carter.
Colin.
That's my. He was my assistant for 3 years.
Oh, nice.
So that's part of my legacy, and I look at him, I'm so proud of him. But he'll tell you, like, I'm a dog. Like, we're gonna get this work done. You know what I mean? And he didn't understand that then, but now that he's doing his own thing with his, major client, like he calls me all the time, like I get it. I just get it. But yeah, so I still don't think that I made it.
See, because so a couple weeks ago, I took Cardi to Chris's house, and we ended up at Kim and Kanye's, and Kanye was talking about this compound that he's building, and he has all this vision for all this creative stuff or whatever. And I said to him, I want to be an intern. Everybody looked at me, and he even looked at me, and I said, you were an intern. You were an intern at Louis Vuitton. You were an intern at Fendi. I like to be consumed with greatness. So if I can learn something from you, and it ain't gonna get a check, you're not gonna give me a check, but the check is gonna come when I apply what I learned.
Yeah.
Do you think young people nowadays get that they have to invest?
They don't want to.
They don't want to because it's instant.
Because
Everything
they want to
is
post
instant.
it. That's all they care about.
Yeah.
That's all they care about is whatever, so that they can
And
post
you know
it.
what's better than a post, right?
Shout out.
A check.
A check, yes.
What?
I know I'm fucking with you.
Don't shout me
I
out.
know I'm
Shout me
playing
out
with
in
you.
the morning, Wells Fargo,
It's true.
Bank of America.
It's true.
Well, listen, we have talked. We are at our time, but both of you are
This has been
interviews.
amazing.
Both of you are interviews on your own, and I love that I call both, and both were very humble to come because I call some celebrities, and they be like, "Who coming?" Oh, no, I need my own. Kay Michelle told me, "I'm not coming to your show. I want to sit on your couch and talk to you by myself." But I felt
I want to say something about Kay.
yes.
Like people,
And you were dressing Kay when she had that big old ass too. So where were you finding all the clothes?
it was hard. It was hard because Kay. I just want to tell a quick story about Kay because when people say, "Oh, you went from Kay Michelle to Celine Dion," people always look at that as a negative thing, and I think it's a beautiful thing because Kay taught me so much. I'll tell a quick story. She was doing the Love and Hip Hop reunion, right? And so I had got this Tom Ford dress. It was the sickest. I was just like, we about to kill these bitches. Like, okay, I got you this Tom Ford dress. I've been working so hard to get this dress. She said, I ain't wearing that shit. And I was like, what do you mean? This is Tom Ford. She's like, let me tell you something. She's like, my fans don't give a fuck about Tom Ford. And so I didn't understand that after a while, but what she told me is that you can't grow too far too fast. You gotta grow and move with the people that's moving with you at the moment. I learned so much from her, and I also learned how to dress a different type of body because Kay is a tiny girl. She was a tiny girl everywhere else. So like the things that I haven't spoken to her in a while, but the things that I learned from her, and I used to fight with her like, you have to be this, you have to be this, you have to be this. And now she understands what I was trying to do, and I also understand everything that she taught me. Like every woman I've worked with, I've taken something away from them. Like I'm just like you. I want to learn. I want to learn. I want to learn. I want to keep growing and growing and growing. And every single woman I've worked with.
What's the lesson you learned?
I had amazing blueprints to look at. And, I've learned that you can still be humble and be nice to people and be at the top. It's okay to be a good person, say good morning, how you doing? And you introduce yourself even if they know who you are.
That's very, yeah.
Having met Beyonce a couple times and having known you for a long time, you guys are very similar.
Everybody says that.
And how you talk to people, because the thing that I be trying to get to people, I will never forget. I snuck into the Rock Nation brunch, had no ego sneaking in, lied all the way into that motherfucker. And I hid behind the bush until Beyonce walked by, and I hopped out and I got my picture. She made me redo it because it was blurry. She was like, you're not doing that. But she took it. But if you see her deal with people, it could be the doorman, it could be the driver, it could be Celine Dion. She's so nice, and you're the same way. Where does that? Is that a Texas thing?
That's Southern hospitality and how you was raised, and and once you, like you were saying earlier, Law was saying earlier, the energy you put out is what you get back. So it's like, why walk around here and being fabulous and looking at people like they're beneath you? Because one day you might need those people too.
But then you meet some reality stars who aren't ever going to reach that pinnacle of success, and they be the most difficult.
And that's why.
And they ever going to reach the pinnacle of success.
That's
you said
why.
it just the first thing you said, and then the second thing you said.
Let me tell you,
say the
Celine.
first thing again.
Celine, we would go to we did a photo shoot, and she literally introduced herself to every single person in the room. She walked up to them, "Hi, I'm Celine. Nice to meet you." And when we left, she said goodbye to every single person in the room. And that is somebody who's at a level. Like when they called me to work with her, they was like, everybody's like, well, what if she's a diva? I'm like, that's Celine Dion. Like, she don't have to speak to me. She could treat me like shit. Just don't throw nothing or hit me or anything. But she's earned that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's 30 years. That's some of the most iconic songs in the world. Like, and every time when we go to a hotel, she stops and she speaks to the people at the front desk. She speaks to the security. She speaks to the people that's pushing the laundry down. She says, and when you're around that type of person and that type of greatness, you cannot be any other way.
Right. That's true.
You know what I mean? And it's just like, she doesn't have to do that.
Right.
Like we went to the Dior show when I first started working with her, and it was at Dior's Atelier, and she literally walked upstairs and thanked all the people who sold the clothes.
Yeah.
Just like, thank you for your artistry. And it's just like, how can you be anything else when you see somebody that great be that great?
So is that the blueprint you talk about?
Yeah.
Being able to see
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Mean goddamn well, you got brothers out here with one goddamn song on the radio. Can't tell them shit.
It was a lot of people with his songs,
But you know
that we don't know no more.
Social media has made people just instantly famous,
or
the feel of fame. Like there's no idea of longevity, and that was the word at church this weekend. It was like, you know, those of you sitting in the congregation, you need to be an amazing mentee to somebody as much as you need to be a mentor.
Yeah.
You know, because I feel like as I was on my way until I got a mentor to show me the roadmap to get to where I want to go. And then you got to be obedient to that lesson, you know, and apply your thing to it. But it's just like, why not want to be around those people who are just going to make you better people? But I appreciate our friendship, and I appreciate that we don't talk all the time, but you know.
What we do, we just pick up where we left off.
It's good to see y'all, brothers, man. I have actually learned a lot from this interview, and I think the viewers are going to love this one because it just seemed authentic and genuine, and I really learned, man. And
thank you.
I wish I can't wait till I can afford y'all to style me.
We got you.
I am going to be a huge movie star.
So the hard thing is just, you know, everybody, and the thing is, everybody don't know where they're going. So you know, you have a journey. You put in your navigation, I'm going here. A lot of people, so the hard part is just knowing where the hell you're going. And so once you get that, you on your way to that destination. In the process, help people. Don't make a right here. I made a right, and it took 2 more hours on my journey. So the whole thing is to just help other people to make it easier, because I didn't have that. I had to learn on my own, and you had to learn on your own. You know what I mean? So,
but you only help people that's really trying to help themselves.
Yeah, that's trying to help them.
And be receptive to it, because like you said, you can't put a sleeve on. I'm not gonna say no names. Somebody from a reality show, and all of a sudden say, "Why the fuck am I not being invited?"
But I see talent in people a lot of times before they see it in themselves. And I'm an energy person, just like you have this young man sitting here. That's my thing too. Like if it's somebody that I know that I can help, that has good energy, and I see good in them, of course I'm gonna tell them this is the way. I'm going this direction, but. You know, don't make a right, make a left.
It don't take your blessing away to be a good person,
or
to be help people.
Helps it.
You know, and what I love again, but you know, for the people that may watch us, your fans, or they don't know you, is that you know, off camera, you're very humble.
Yeah.
You know, and like I said, I've seen, but you though working. No, wait, let me talk about you. You working out in a fur coat. I wanted to kick your ass.
See, I'm humble, but I'm the most humble bitch you ever gonna meet.
I text Law. I said, "Wait a minute. Now you've gone too far. You are doing push-ups and sit-ups in a goddamn fur."
And I was doing curls with Birkin bags.
They wouldn't expect anything less.
But my name is Luxury Law.
They wouldn't expect
I came from
less.
shit. Like I grew up, you know, sleeping on dirty clothes bags with nothing in the house. You know what I mean? Like so now. But that's just part of who I am. I'm humble to a certain degree though, but I've earned all that shit. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think that this is the thing. People always think it's wrong to want to live in abundance, and it's not. Like it's our God-given right to live in abundance. And I buy the things that make me happy, and it's not about the stuff. It's about the ability to acquire the stuff. You know what I mean? Like if I was want to buy 10 Birkin bags and do whatever I can because I earned it.
You said 10 Birkin bags?
I didn't steal it from nobody. I didn't use anybody else's credit card. I worked for mine.
You said 10 Birkin bags?
You know what I mean? So yeah, that's part of my personality.
I said you said 10 Birkin bags?
10. Yeah. And I'm also from Chicago. That's part of my DNA. That's part of our culture. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like I was raised around drug dealers and pimps.
I be wearing all this. I be wearing
the truth. It's part of my culture.
I be wearing all this Gucci now, but you know, the first thing I ever bought Gucci was him a pair of shoes after I met Beyonce, because I just was just like the gift he gave me that night was, you know, you couldn't really return that, but more so the energy in the room. They weren't playing no Beyonce music. It was all, I think, 80s, 90s, and the vibe was there. The alcohol was free at the 40/40 Club, and then
crazy.
And everybody in the room. You're funny. He did a Jay-Z impression. That was funny. That was cute. You still curvy though. But the energy was amazing. And you know, I am at a point in my life right now where the energy has to be that. It's not about who's in the room, it's how does the room feel.
Yeah. And you know,
and if it don't feel real.
Yeah. I'm about chasing the bag, but if the energy is like thrown and I feel like if I feel like it's gonna strip me of my character, I'm gonna become something. If I feel like I'm there and I'm not myself, then I don't do it. I'm at that point in life where I'm only doing things that I want to do.
Me too.
Man.
Well, I have said, you know, when we started the show, I said one day I'm going to interview Beyonce. And people are like, ha, 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 y'all think I'm playing. I know where I'm going to go now. It's not going to be messy. It's going to definitely be on some Barbara Walters type shit. But I will say, do you know Danielle who works with Nick Cannon? Danielle Crawley. She has Celine Dion tattooed on her wrist.
Really?
She
I love Celine.
loves Celine. I mean, love. So I don't know how, if it ever, but I think she may have met her or something. I don't know if she's ever met her, but when I tell you, this is a black woman that believes she's Celine Dion.
And she hood as hell.
I don't understand that woman around the world.
She's everything.
I've never saw somebody treated that way and adore like.
She's
Beyonce has the new, but I'm talking about like 100-year-old women like. It's so many like Mexican, just like.
But
it's just like I've never saw somebody be adored that way. Like she is truly
every race, I mean, Celine Dion, she's just awesome. Her music, everything about her is just great.
Yeah.
I love her.
Well, I love her too, and Danielle will die if she ever meets her. So I don't want to kill the girl, but if y'all ever just hanging out somewhere and she can pop up, let me know. Anyway, thank you both for coming on the show.
Thank you. This is great.
And come on back anytime. Well, Melissa Ford is still out. We're wishing her a speedy recovery.
Yes, I love you, Melissa. Get better, love.
Okay, so for those of you looking and saying Jason must have kissed a unicorn, no, I just put on some Carmex and one of my favorite lip balms to keep my lips moist. Can I just tell you that I hate the word moist? I was somewhere the other day having a meeting about a lot of money, and the woman in there with the guy who helps me bring in the money started talking, and somehow the waitress came in and I had ordered chicken breast, and she said, "Oh," I said, "Well, how's the chicken?" You know, and she said, "The chicken is amazing. It's tender and moist." And the whole table looked at each other, and I said, "Yo, ma'am, I know you don't know me, but in the minds of everybody at this table, you just used an unsafe word."
I don't like the word moist either. Ugh.
It just sounds raunchy,
Yeah, moist.
or maybe just we have sick ass minds.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's a beautiful blue cup, Hollywood Unlocked Blue over there. It's not one of our cups. What does it say though?
You're so happy you could shit
It
rainbows.
says, "I'm so happy you can
Exactly.
shit rainbows." So
This is the only mug we had in the kitchen
nice,
of the office where we shoot this show at.
nice rainbow.
Thank you, man.
So what you been up to?
Nothing, man. Just swinging and banging. You know?
What? Elaborate.
Hey, man. I had some good new poom poom last night.
Are we really gonna go there already?
I'm sorry. You asked me what I've been up to.
Okay, so you had poom poom.
Oh, man.
First
It
of
was
all,
so
can we
good.
stop objectifying women? I want women to be respected in these streets. Can we please stop objectifying our women? I mean, does the vagina have to be called poom poom?
It's better than anything than coochie. Remember we talked about that.
Yeah, no, definitely don't like that word either.
All right. So, I just swinging and banging.
So
man.
who is this girl?
Man, I met her at Playhouse a few weeks ago, and my homegirl threw me on, and she was like, "Yo, my homegirl feeling you." I was like, "What's up? Where's she at?" I seen her. I was like, "Damn, she's a cutie pie." She like Asian and white and like Spanish or something, and them long ass hair looking like a goddamn stallion. You know what I'm saying? So she came over and we talked. Long story short, weeks went by, didn't talk, didn't text. One day I get in my DMs and just none but ass. Busting it open pictures. And she said, "I'll be back in town tomorrow. I'll let you know when I land." And I didn't think she was going to do it. She let me know when she was landing, sent me that address, had that Uber up right there so goddamn
And you
fast.
went to her house.
What?
And
Did I go
so
in
what,
that house?
So what happened? So you knocked on the door.
Yeah, I was like, "Yo, let me take a shower real quick." Took a shower, came out. We sat and talked for about a good 2 hours, though, just conversating. I was just sitting there in my towel because, I don't want to take a shower and put my dirty drawers back on because I know it. So we just sitting there talking.
The fact that you admitted you had dirty drawers on.
Well, you know what I mean, like all day draws.
Let me tell you something. I got on some polos right now that smell like they came out of Jesus's basket. Okay,
I'm talking about all day draws. Anyway, we were just
Okay.
talking, and she was just dope, man, and it was dope.
And
It
then
was
you
good.
fucked her, and you haven't called her since.
No, I woke up, made her breakfast. Yeah.
What'd you make? I mean, because there's a difference if you put a Pop-Tart in the fucking toaster and you make eggs Benedict. I mean, what type of
I
nigga
made
are
her
you?
omelet with potatoes.
Okay.
Yeah. And then she went to work, and then I came to work.
Oh, nice. So, well, that's great. What's her name?
Uh,
Say my name. Say my name.
I have not said her name.
Okay, well, she wasn't worth a shout out. Cool. So, well, listen, I've been busy. Yesterday, I was on set with Jason Derulo.
Jason Derulo.
I have to tell you, I met his manager, Frank, and I was so inspired by how they met. I mean, he had told a story about how he met Jason, and Jason's such a big international superstar. People that in the U.S. that, what's funny?
I thought you talked about yourself. My bad.
Well, I'm a global brand, but Jason Derulo is. a major superstar. You know, it's so funny on set, everybody kept saying Jason. I ain't never heard my name said so much. They just weren't saying it to me. But he's such a nice person. But we hung out, and so we spent all day there yesterday. But this weekend, I was, I have to say, people, I appreciate all the comments that we get about the show, and all the criticism. I take it all in. But this past Sunday, and pause. This past Sunday, I went to church. Now, I'm not the churchy guy, but there is a church in LA that not only do I want to endorse, and people are going to say, oh, you shouldn't be talking about. Well, I'm talking about it because it's my show and I could do that. Erica Campbell from Mary Mary has a church.
They so fine.
Her husband, Warren Campbell, is the pastor, and the church is called California Worship Center, and it's in a school in North Hollywood. And this is the thing. You don't have to be in a church to worship God. That's what I always say. I don't go to church. I worship at home. I was on Instagram Live, and I caught the Holy Spirit on live. I had to hang up because those people would have really saw how much I love God. But anyway, I went to this church, and the whole message was about mentorship and how people who want everything they want it right now and don't want to put in the work to get it, and how people have to be submissive and subservient to mentorship, and how the people who the mentor and the mentee has to be aligned in order to reach their goal. And I thought a lot about my staff. I have a lot of younger people working for me, and I remember the ambition that I used to have when I was younger for this industry that I've lost. I take for granted a lot of things. I was sitting in church and I was just crying, and I wasn't even crying. There were people in there crying because you could tell
they're going through some
shit. A couple of them look worn out. I was like, "Ooh, I know you going through something. I know that prayer is because God said you only got one more prayer left." But then there were other people that were probably praying because they, want something or whatever. But I was literally crying because I am so thankful for everything that I have. And I'm not even talking about possessions.
It was tears of joy.
Yeah, it was just like that. And then acknowledging that we don't slow down enough to thank God for the things that we do have. We really take for granted. When Jennifer Lewis was here and she said, the breath that we breathe every day. Just if we don't have that, we ain't got shit.
That's true.
So I was really grateful, and I was thinking I wake up every day full of ambition with, I just started my festival business. I just got that license and stuff. And then now, I'm closing money, and this show's gone to 4 shows, and, negotiating a talk show and all these different things. Wild and Out's come. I'm going back. I just got my email to go back in October. So I'm looking at all these blessings, and I'm just like, I know that's God, and I ain't stopped to thank him. So I was overwhelmed with that. But what I love about that church, there's a lot of churches in the city. I've been to them. That church you feel the spirit in it. You just feel it. Like the whole church was running around the church.
Oh, that's my type of church.
So what I said for my birthday, I'm going to go to Mexico this weekend, but next weekend, I want everybody to come with me to church.
You know what? I think that's one of the dopest invites you've probably given us.
Isn't it?
And I think that's one of the dopest invites you give somebody in general.
But I'm inviting everybody. Keisha Cole, I'm inviting I'm going through my phone. I'm going to invite my friends to come because just the experience, because if you could fellowship with the people that you really care about and just pay gratitude to that. And I'm not saying I'm going to be at the altar every Sunday because I'm not. I'm just not that guy. But I have invited Erica and Warren Campbell to come to our show.
Oh, I would love that.
Yeah,
I would love that.
They're anointed.
We got to be super A1 crisp pristine on that episode.
I'm worried about you.
Well, listen, I know when I.
Who did we just have here that you were looking at real sexual? That Elise Neal or no Niecy Nash?
I was not looking at her sexual. I wanted to look at her.
She wanted to claw your eyes out. Get it clawed.
Well, listen, that invite to church is better than the invite I just got.
What did you get invited to?
This girl that I used to have relations with just randomly asked me to go to a funeral with her.
Really?
Yes.
Whose funeral though?
Somebody's funeral that got shot and unfortunately passed away. And she was like, I don't want to go along because I know there's going to be a lot of bloods there. Well, I was like, well, you don't need to be there.
I called security.
Listen, she asked me, can I go to a funeral with her? Like, that's so random. You ever been invited to some?
I took my senator with me to my cousin's funeral.
You asked him to go?
I asked her to go.
Ask her to go?
Yeah, because I was in the trenches doing the Trayvon Martin campaign, and she was helping me, and I didn't have my family was already there, but I was just like, hey, come with me, and she came.
I have not been to a funeral.
It was my grandmother's funeral. I'm sorry, my grandmother's.
I haven't been to a funeral in over 10 years.
Yeah, I don't like funerals. My mother, when she passed away, my father came behind me. I had to put the whole funeral together and get the preacher and all that, and it was just a lot of work. But my father came and sat behind me and tapped me on my shoulder and said, what is your mother's last name? I ain't never wanted to slap a nigga so bad. I'm like, bitch. My dad is like, and he's old now. And, when people get towards,
Going home
heaven's door,
Mm-hmm.
they want to recycle everything. Let's recycle this relationship. Let's just get along and hang out and you be my son. I'm like, nigga, I'm chasing the bag.
Why did he ask you what was your mother's last name?
Because he didn't know it.
I'm sorry.
No, it's really like
It's fucked up, but it's funny.
it's really bad. But hey, God bless him. We don't talk for no reason of not talking. It's just I'm busy. And I try when I go home to set a family day. So like family day, we can all go to dinner. We can go play pool. We can sit around and talk. But I set family day, which is like a limited amount of time.
Oh my God! Well, at least you got some type of family access out here. I'm by myself.
But I'm really excited. I also, just like I said earlier on, launched my business. The Culture Carnival is the name of my festival. And I'm excited.
You gonna get sued.
No, I'm not. From who?
Migos.
Listen, the Migos got a culture album, but they ain't started the culture, okay? Love you, Offset and everybody over there. But no, I mean, I'm launching it now and I'm putting it together and I'm excited that it's going to come to fruition.